thank you for inviting me today. I'm actually following up from a presentation my CEO, Stefan Berenger, did the latter part of last year. So some of you may have seen that. And hopefully you'll see this presentation is quite different. I'll try to make it different from that one. And it really is here to focus on the issues marketers face at the moment and how content marketing can address those issues. So many of you will read all this and many of you will have seen it, but there's a lot of published articles around at the moment covering the opportunities and the challenges advertisers have in this ever-changing consumer world, some of which has been accelerated by the various lockdowns. And from this, I've distilled the coverage into three core challenges, which I think have gained the most coverage recently, and ones that we certainly believe content marketing can address, and hopefully I can talk you through how. So the first one of those is the growth of streaming, particularly SVOD, light ad-free environments, and it's fundamentally shifted the way viewers interact with video content and advertising. And in a way, consumers are being increasingly trained to expect little or no ads when viewing videos, and skipping is another one of those, which has driven very significant declines in ad viewing, particularly in linear TV and also in video. And it's sort of impacting the advertisers' ability to reach the audiences through this medium they're used to. And what it's doing is it's making it more difficult to keep reach for these big brands. And that's pushing up inflation for that as well. Just to put some statistics behind there, there's a 37% increase in time spent streaming in the last year. 56% of streaming minutes in the US are on SVOD. In the EU, 53% of all TV hours are now through streaming. And switching to the UK, an Ubiquity report some of you may have seen, suggesting that all TV impacts will be down 14% by 2018 to 22. And for the 16 to 17-year-olds, that's a decline of 61%. And they actually go on further to say that for 16 to 17-year-old, between 2010 and 2026, they predict that commercial impacts will be down 95%. So that is a huge issue, a huge shift for these big brands in trying to maintain these audiences. And the second challenge is the third-party data ecosystem, which is in the process at the moment, as you probably have read, of significant disruption, threatening many of today's targeting strategies and sort of making it unsustainable for the future. And advertisers and agencies are tasked with trying to find new ways of creating relevance for their advertising amongst their audiences. And context, we believe, is one of those that's going to come through. The WFA published a report this year called The Future of Data-Driven Marketing. In that, they say that they support initiatives to give advertisers more context for where their ads appear to deliver relevance. WARC have come out with two statistics, right? They're saying over the past 5 years, with a limit of programmatic, the limit of the programmatic approach, it's become clear there's much more of an interest in the context in which an ad is delivered. And relevant context and quality environment can increase the viewability of an ad tenfold, which is a study that Lumen have just done. And on the agency buy side, DigiDay have come out saying that 50% of the agency buy side will be spending more on contextual targeting. And that all of those put together is a really, really great strength for the content marketing industry. The third challenge, and this was mentioned a little bit earlier, is with all these advances we have in video and broadcast, the reality is the ad experience is becoming worse for people. Ads are becoming more interruptive, there's growing clutter, it's leading to ad fatigue, and it's leading to ad avoidance. So this means ad campaigns have to work even harder now to stand out, with increasing spend focusing on driving preferences and differentiation. Some of the recent figures suggest from Business Journal, the average person sees 1,000 ads a day. And the New York Times has come out with a figure saying that could be up to 5,000. 71% believe ads are becoming more intrusive, and 30% in the US block ads simply because they find them annoying, too numerous, or invasive. And 29%, a study come out by T-Vision, which specializes in actual viewability, 29% of ads are just simply not viewable on the screen. And what they mean by that is that people are simply not watching the screen during the ad break, which they track through eye tracking technology, even though those are counted as ratings. So there are really three very big challenges that the industry faces in the traditional advertising space. So coming on to content, the industry obviously needs to find new ways to reach and engage audiences. And the reality is 99% of the advertising effort is spent on mere 6% of video time spent watching the ads. So when you look at the content side of this, and these are figures from Thinkbox, there's a vast blank canvas of opportunity to extend reach and to engage with consumers within the content that they're specifically choosing to watch. And content advertising provides the opportunity to engage viewers in this context as easily as you would schedule a standard TV or digital buy. And with this almost infinite scale, the content landscape brings this vast and untapped opportunity to reach audiences when they're most engaged in an unintrusive, brand safe, and also a skip safe way. So at Mirriad, as I said earlier, we offer brands and agencies the opportunity to extend their campaigns into this vast blank canvas that video content offers. And I think one differentiator I'll pull out is the timeframes that we can do this. We tend to be able to get brands within content up to 48 hours before airing, which means you can start scheduling this activity alongside your other media activity, which is a very big step away from traditional product placement, which was a very long-term thing. I'm just going to play a short video to give you some of the background, which may save 1,000 words. So I just want to switch now to sort of really talk about those challenges we talked about earlier and how content marketing and how Mirriad fit into that to deliver against those challenges and what are these opportunities for advertisers. So the first one is the huge range of content. I mean, that is key. And the content in inventory gives a huge audience scale. And that, I think, was mentioned in one of the previous presentations, audience size. It's a very important thing for advertisers. And that enables you to reach audiences that drive not only incremental reach on top of existing campaigns, but huge reach in its own right. The second point we touched on earlier was the context of placements. And this technology now can identify a massive range of contextually relevant opportunities within scenes, which really go on to gauge consumers' attention within that content. And we can identify the context of environment to emotion to actually match a brand's need, which is contextual targeting. And the third one is driving standout. You have standout in an environment where ultimately you have exclusivity. You can decide to dominate certain environments or emotions with unlimited creative opportunities, where you have zero clutter or disruption for the viewer. And further to this, it's non-disruptive and it's an uncluttered format. Consumers actually like it, and there's no option of blocking and there's no avoidance. So the one of the main things is that content offers is this massive reach potential and also the incremental reach you can get through content. So on our books, we now have around about 82 billion monthly impressions going globally. And I think what is key to some of our advertisers, certainly some of the big ones, is the higher reach you can get through content than you would reach through TV. And that's similar for digital. It does vary by program, it varies by market, but as you can see on the right here, across all UK commercial primetime content, ratings are actually 73% higher in the content than they are for the TV ad breaks. So that's a massive boost for these advertisers trying to look at ways of readdressing the declining audiences they're getting. And we've got a framework through RSMB and BARB, which is industry agreed for reporting campaign reach and frequency in the content space, which is aligned to the industry metrics. And what this allows is a seamless reporting through BARB between TV spot and in-content advertising. And we have the same framework with Nielsen in the US. So by replacing or adding in content to TV spot schedules, you get increased reach. And as I said earlier, this can really readdress the decline in the commercial impacts. The chart on the left gives a small demonstration of that between Channel 4 and Sky Atlantic content in the UK as to what extra reach you would gain by switching different percentages of your budget from TV spot to content. So what is the optimum mix for you? And we do run quite a few campaigns that are actually scheduled directly with TV spot campaigns. Following on from that, there's a massive scale of inventory, which is another thing you need from our global partners. And across the year, this year in 2021, we have 82,000 opportunities totaling 1.4 million seconds, which is equivalent to 47,000 30-second TV spots. And those figures actually exclude the music that we have on YouTube. And our platform allows filtering to our partner customer needs. And in this instance, you're seeing US comedy, where we have 35,000 ad opportunities totaling 614,000 seconds. I think another key thing we talked about earlier was context and how this is becoming more and more important. And context of advertising within the environments they are served is a key part of delivering relevance. And it's going to become more and more important in the cookieless world. So we have unique patented technology that tags every in-content opportunity across a whole range of scene characteristics and emotions. For example, a sunny beach scene for ice creams or suntan lotions. You could look at romantic scenes or celebration scenes such as birthdays or Christmas. And this mix of context and emotion surfaces the relevant opportunities to match a brand in the right context to grab the consumer attention. So in this example here for Quakers, they were specifically looking for opportunities to place cereal products in kitchen scenes in US content. And the video shows the filtering by this context. And on the right, the examples that came from the actual campaign. Stand out. It's increasingly difficult for brands to stand out and be distinctive in this increasingly cluttered advertising landscape. And we do that in two ways. Firstly, through unlimited creative opportunities that extend far beyond what you might consider as traditional product placement. And some of them you can see in this video here. So each exposure is unique, meaning consumers aren't bombarded with the same creative at high frequency. And research shows this type of in-content works. Across the last 7 campaigns we have studied, 85% say they like the format, 89% that's a natural fit, 78% is innovative and original. And all these strengths lead 81% of them to say that it makes the brand involved more appealing to them. So these are very positive attributes for an advertising format, and a format that is also unblockable, unskippable, and gains very high attention. In addition to creative opportunities, we're able to offer brands both exclusivity and contextual dominance if they need that. Brands can own any contextually relevant scenes across the content portfolio and schedule it as a standard video media plan. So our campaign planning tool matches this context with campaign requirements, such as dates and budgets. And in this example here, you see an FMCG advertiser wanting to own Disney comedy content. And the planner surfaces the available content across different time frames and or budgets and provides them a schedule of insertions, exposure time, and the predicted audience delivery. And the final point on my slide earlier is performance. Does it work? We do research across many campaigns, and it consistently proves a success in the format in driving very high brand KPIs. You can see here average results across 8 studies, all showing exceptional, consistent results right through the purchase funnel. And in reality, this shouldn't be surprising if it's in such a natural undisruptive, highly visible, and a very much a liked format. So I want to finish with some thoughts as to how video in content advertising solves the industry challenges I started with. It is a huge, largely untapped new opportunity for brands. It is a massive blank canvas. It can readdress the declining ad audiences that advertisers have faced. It offers levels of context far beyond any form of traditional ad format. It is also non-intrusive or disruptive. It's non-skippable or blockable. And importantly, it's light. And my final point is proven to work. Thank you all for your patience in joining me on part 2 of this presentation.